Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm reviewing LEGO Star Wars The Mandalorian set number 75311 Imperial Armored Marauder. This has 478 pieces, 4 minifigures. It's recommended for ages 8 plus, and it retails for $40 in the US. This was released on August 1st, 2021 as part of the new wave of Mandalorian Season 2 sets. This version of Greef Karga, based on his Season 2 outfit, is brand new for this set. I think he looks really great, and it's wonderful to get him in a cheap set since he's only otherwise available in the Razor Crest set. However, while his face print is good, I'm really disappointed by the fact that he doesn't have an alternate face, because I feel like this face print just being like the only one for him is kind of boring since he's like a pretty fun character, and he does have a blaster pistol included. This is an artillery stormtrooper. I quite like the yellow markings on it. I think it's, it makes it more unique, makes it stand out. This guy's also got a yellow pauldron on one arm, as well as like a jetpack attachment on the back. This is like the newer style of stormtrooper helmet that's dual molded with, that black and white inside. I really like that piece. And then you've got that like Loki generic villain face underneath. And there's a quick peek at his back printing, which is also pretty nice. You also get 2 regular stormtroopers in this set. They look pretty good as well using that same helmet, although they of course do not have the yellow markings. And underneath, they do have different faces ever since LEGO moved away from just using that angry clone face. So we've got that guy on the right. Don't know where that face is from, but the girl on the left, I really love that expression. But again, I don't know what sets these faces originated in. The artillery stormtrooper gets this cute little cannon build. I like the way that works. It's just on, like one of those kind of hinge plates, and then you've got a couple of levers used as legs, which is pretty creative. So here's the main vehicle. I really like the look of this thing. It was a pretty interesting vehicle in the show. This is what they stole to like escape from that base that they infiltrated, I believe. I don't remember. It's been like, almost a year since Mando Season 2 came out. But I mean, this thing is really, really detailed, and it's like, it's pretty heavy too. So even though it's not that large, like this is it compared to a minifigure, it's not very big. It's very, very dense. So we might as well start by looking at some of the play features. As you can see, there's a lot of guns on this thing. You've got stud shooters up front, which you can fire off pretty easily. Oh, hey, I didn't actually lose that. It came right back to me. How nice. You've also got stud shooters up top here, and these can move from side to side. You also have guns on the side over here. These can swivel out, and I actually really love these. They don't shoot, but I really like, good-looking, non-shooting guns on LEGO vehicles. And then you even have some cargo space on the sides over here. These crates only otherwise come in the Mos Eisley Cantina set, which is $350, and they are very nicely printed. Like, this is a really nice piece. There's nothing in these crates, but you can just use them to store, extra stud shooter shots or something, and you do get that on both sides of the vehicle. There is space on both sides. You also have this little hatch up top, and so this opens up and you can put a minifigure down in there. I think that that's really clever. It's not like an actual interior space, but you can just pretend like someone is popping up. And this is a lot like what was on the Knights of Ren transport ship set, which I really didn't like, because it only had hatches like this. It didn't really have a good interior space. This set is not like that. It has a fantastic interior space. So let's start by looking at the back. So back here, you'll notice that there's like a little cutout over there so you can see inside. That's because when you lift this down, you have a little like rear gunner seat. This entire thing turns like with those stud shooters up top, and it's very easy to just put a minifigure in there. And that is like a clear cylinder wall piece back there. So I think that that's a really clever way of, still being able to see the minifigure from the other side. And once it's closed, you can just see them peeking through that little gap in the bricks. It's the same story at the front. You've got some gaps on the side, which look really good to me. And then you've got a major one up there. And the way this opens is you can fold this down and lift up the roof. And inside you have a very roomy seat. And you also have a little control panel. So I really like that, because then when it's closed in, the control panel is at like the perfect height for like a minifigure's hands. Sorry, it's kind of hard to get it to focus in there, but I think that that's just really clever. And so we can go ahead and put Greef Karga in there since he was driving this in the show. And again, it's very roomy in there. Just have to put his gun down, and then you can see him peeking through the front as well. But that's not all for interior space. You can also lift up these like doors on the side and then fold down these sections. Again, that is the same on both sides. So that lets you get access into the ship for figures, but you can also lift up this hatch so that it's easier to get your actual hands in there. If I can actually get it up. And in there, you have 2 more seats, but you also have a lot of studded space for you to put minifigures around. So there's the Stormtrooper sitting right down in the center of this ship. Sorry for hitting the camera there. At the back, you can just barely see the other Stormtrooper all the way like through that little clear cylinder piece. And so I really like this because you could also be lining Stormtroopers along the walls. If you have small enough fingers, you could just try to fit them in there. So here are all of the hatches opened up on this thing. I just broke off the top one so it's easier to see inside. But this is a ton of space because you've got 2 seats there, 1 seat at the back, 1 seat at the front, and then you also have this hatch that you can have someone popping out of, and you can also like put at least 1 figure, but honestly you could probably fit 2 there in the doorway. So this can seat, like comfortably seat 5 figures, but you could definitely cram in like 6 or 7, and like I said, if you manage to line the walls, you can maybe even get like up to 10 in here. That is fantastic. For such a tiny thing, I am really impressed with how much space there is in here. I love how usable everything is. Like you've even got the cargo sections on the back. You've got plenty of stud shooters. And honestly, I'm most impressed with this hatch up here because I mean, I know it's on the box, but I wasn't really expecting there to be a space to put a minifigure up here. And this is something that would usually be wasted space. It's just like a very tiny, like 4x4 square above an entrance. But I'm really glad that, you know, space was still able, like another seat was still able to be fit in there. You've also got a nice amount of detail underneath this thing. You just have, you know, like these little sliders. I would have preferred if these were like translite blue to kind of seem, you know, like repulsor mechanisms, but this thing just moves around really easily. And I always love it, you know, when you've got kind of like that hover action in Star Wars vehicles. Here are the extra pieces. As you can see, you do have a lot of those stud shooter shots to fill those crates with. Here's the box for this set. It's a typical $30 box size, not $40. You've got the nice art of the Mandalorian in the corner. It does not say the Mandalorian name on the front or back of the box though, like it doesn't have the show logo or anything. Here's the instruction manual. At the back, you do have, you know, the typical Star Wars ads for this year. You've got the other Mandalorian sets, including some from 2020, but no Razor Crest, interestingly. You've got all of the August 2021 minifigures, and you've also got the ad for the Skywalker Saga game. So overall, I think that this is a great set. I've really been enjoying the August 2021 Star Wars sets a lot more than I've enjoyed, you know, like previous Star Wars waves. And I was kind of planning on skipping this one, but I'm glad I didn't. The only thing, like the only problem I have with it, like it's got great play functions. I really like the cargo storage. I love all of the interior space. You guys know I love a good interior, and this one really delivers on that in a way that some other Star Wars sets don't. Like I'm so impressed by how many minifigures you can fit into such a small thing. But I don't think it's worth the price. Like I know it's got 478 pieces, and I cannot tell you where all of them go. Because, like, in my head, like, I don't think there were that many, like, super tiny pieces here. You can see, like, there's not an insane level of greebling or anything. But I just don't know where 500 pieces went. Because this thing does not look like it's worth $40. And it doesn't really feel like it's worth $40. Especially compared to sets from, like, other LEGO themes. Even other, like, LEGO licensed themes. Like, for $40, you can get, like, a good size, like, Hulkbuster build from Marvel, for example. So honestly, I wish that this set was 35 or even 30. 30 seems like it's a little bit low to ask for, but like 35 would be perfect to me. So that's it for today. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com, and I'll see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.